In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to start your own print shop from the comfort of your own home or bedroom. There's a lot of money to be made in this business, and you don't need a big factory, a warehouse. You don't need any of that fancy stuff. Everything in this video that we're going to discuss is going to be super budget friendly. It's going to be a step-by-step tutorial. We're going to go over everything that you're going to need. We're going to go over the actual process. We're going to make it some t-shirts. We're going to package it up. We're going to do everything. And the best part is it's all going to be DIY from our bedroom. Everything you need in this video is going to be linked down below in the description. If you have any questions throughout this video, leave it in the comment section. Don't forget to smash that subscribe because I'm always dropping gems for you so that way you can start making money with your brand or print shop at home. All right, let's get started. Let's go over everything you're going to need. Okay, so the most important thing out of everything that we're going to need to complete these projects is going to be a heat press. I know it can be a little bit intimidating when you're shopping for a heat press because there's so many options and so many different price points. Well, on this channel, everything I use is super budget friendly, but it's also really high quality. I've done a lot of research. I've gone through a lot of heat presses. This one right here is the Fancier Studio 16 by 24 with the pull-out drawer. And out of all of the ones I've ever used, this has been my favorite. It has a really strong build. It has the manual pressure. Everything is metal. You know, it has a really sturdy build. That's really my favorite thing about this heat press. You can go up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, the 24 inches offers a lot more space for you to press bigger projects, and that's definitely been clutch for me. This one is about $309 on Amazon. But if you want to save a little bit more money, there is a 15 by 15 version of this same exact one. It's in my Amazon storefront as well. But that one, the only difference is it's like 15 by 15 and it does not have the pull-out drawer. And that one's about, you know, 175, 180, somewhere around there. You'll see it on the screen. But that's another option. You're gonna save like 130 bucks or whatever, you know, somewhere around there. And if you just want to save that, that's an option. But if you have that extra money, this has been my favorite one. If you have any questions about this heat press specifically, leave it in the comment section. I have reviewed other heat presses, like I said. But on this channel, I really just review the starter ones just to make sure people who are just now getting into this business have options that won't break the bank, but still make sure that it offers, you know, an opportunity for them to make money, you know, have this be an investment, you know, because I've made a lot of money with this heat press, like a lot of money. And like I said, this one was like a little bit over $300. I made that back within like a project or so, you know, so this is a solid investment right here, you know, so let's go on to the next stuff. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna add to our list is gonna be a vinyl cutter. So in this video, we are using a Cricut Explorer Air 2. There is a Cricut Explorer Air 3 and 4 that is out now. The only reason why I still use this version is because this was the newest one that was out when I had first bought my vinyl cutter. This has been going strong for 3 to 4 years now, and I haven't really had any reason to upgrade. This works perfectly. It cuts all the vinyl that I need, all the rhinestone flock, cardstock, faux leather. Like honestly, the list is insane. If you have the extra budget, you can obviously, you know, grab the 3 or the 4. I just want to make sure you know why I'm still using the Cricut Explorer 2. It's still fully functional. The software is completely free. Cricut Design Space, the one that comes to it. It's still the cheapest one, I believe. I'm sure if you shop around, you could probably find the 3 and the 4 for pretty close to this. So it's really just your preference, you know, like you can find these used also like on Marketplace for really affordable, you know, if you do want to look on your local OfferUps or Marketplace or whatever. I know you can get a Cricut Explorer 2 for really affordable. And like I said, with this one, I mainly cut heat transfer vinyl, which is also on the list of things that we're gonna need. So I'll keep this right here. This is heat transfer vinyl. They come in solid colors. You basically send your design to the vinyl cutter and you know, cut it on your vinyl, you peel it and then you press it. And you know, like I mentioned before, we are gonna make a shirt together so that way you guys can see the whole process and understand how this actually works, you know. So Also, we are going to be able to do rhinestone transfers. And we're going to go over that in a second. Everything's in this box, but this cuts the rhinestone flock, and that flock is what we use to actually make the stencils. So yeah, the heat transfer vinyl in this project that we're using is going to be regular. And then we're gonna add a little bit of rhinestones on there. So we'll be doing that in this video. But if you have any questions about the vinyl cutter so far, leave it in the comment section. And yeah, let's move on. Okay, so like I said, with our vinyl cutter, we can make rhinestone transfers. That has been the most profitable thing. As far as all of my endeavors with the vinyl cutter, the rhinestone transfers are killing it right now. This is the rhinestone starter kit, which is on my website. It's gonna come with the transfer tape. We're gonna go over all this as far as when we make the transfer, and I do also have way more detailed videos breaking this rhinestone transfer process down on my page. So if you need, go ahead and check those out. They're super in detail. So we have the rhinestone flock. This is what we're gonna feed into the vinyl cutter to create the stencil. We're gonna have our brush tool. You're gonna get some tweezers. You're gonna get some scissors, the scraper tool, and some hot fixed rhinestones. That way you can get started. That way it's just easy for you to just, have everything you need in one bundle. That way you're not worried about trying to find every piece individual and worrying about if the things are even good quality or not. So if you have any questions so far about the rhinestone transfers and the starter kit or any of the SVG files that you would need, leave them in the comment section and I got you. Okay, so remember when I mentioned the heat transfer vinyl could typically only do one color? This is the workaround as far as, running a full color print shop out of your bedroom. Is DTF transfers and screen printed transfers. So if you see right here, the DTF transfers are full color. This is basically printed onto this film, and then I believe it's like some powder or something, that gets applied to it that helps it get saved, and then you just basically apply heat to it with the heat transfer or with the heat press onto the garment, and it sticks on. We're gonna do that step as well, so you see exactly how this works and how it looks on final products. And then this right here is screen printed transfers. So these are basic colors, but these make it easier. For example, if you use heat transfer vinyl to create like a sample or something, and you have a really, really, really large order, you can do your sample on the heat transfer vinyl once you get your colors and your dimensions correct. That way, because with the vinyl, you can tweak it as you need. Once you have that, you can get the bulk. If you need to make a really, really large order, you don't feel like cutting the vinyl and peeling it. Um, the screen printed transfers work as well, but we're gonna apply both of these as well, so that way you can see that. Um, see, and then so after we're done, we're gonna have our pulley bag. Uh, this right here is some size stickers. This is just to help it look more professional, you know what I mean? So we're gonna put this to the side, but we're gonna pack the shirt up as well when we're done. And then we have some a hole punch. We have our tag for the shirt, and this is how we're gonna apply the tag. We have these lock-in strings, and then we have the black safety pins. So with these, this is how I tag up the shirt and make it look even more professional. Um, this is my personal one for my brand, but you can also just get these made on Vistaprint, or you can also even use the pen feature on your Cricut, load some cardstock, and then just have the design cut it out, and then just have it cut out a shape similar to this or a square, whatever, and then boom, hole punch it, do the same thing. So there's always gonna be a way to do to take your stuff to the next level with your vinyl cutter. That's why this one is super essential. If you go on my page, I have done a ridiculous amount of projects with this Cricut. Like once I think I can't think of anything else, boom, I come up with 10 more ideas. So there's that. If you have any questions so far, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. All right, it's time to make our shirt. We have our Cricut Explore Air 2 ready. We have our heat transfer vinyl on our Cricut mat. We're gonna just go ahead and put this here. I'm gonna head over to the laptop. I do have a lot of tutorials also breaking down this step. So that way, you can get the full value of actually, working with the software, sending your logos to the vinyl cutter, all that good stuff. In this video, I'm just kind of showing you the process, but my channel is filled with a ton of free tutorials for you guys. Um, we're gonna go ahead and let this cut. The design is about 11 inches, about 5 inches. So we're gonna go ahead and let this cut, and then we're gonna peel it together. And then after, we're gonna make our rhinestone transfer. I am gonna, send or do the flock on the Cricut mat as well, so you'll already see a cut. But if you need the full value of both of the processes, just go ahead and check out my page, and there's a ton of free tutorials for you. If you have any questions so far, leave them in the comment section, and I will see you at the next step. Okay, so the vinyl cutter is done. We're gonna peel the vinyl. And then this is what the rhinestone flock looks like after it's been cut. This is just going to be a simple star. It's going to go on each side. I kept it simple just for this video. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And we're going to also make the transfer so you can see that. But we're going to go ahead and start peeling the heat transfer vinyl. All right. Oh man, quality heat transfer vinyl peels really, really smooth. You'll never have any problems. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. It says recipe. We're gonna take these stars out because we're gonna replace them with rhinestone stars. There's that star, and then there's that star. And what I'll probably end up doing, well, we'll see. We'll see when I get to the heat press. I might put a few rhinestones just kind of scattered. Oh, you know what? That might look good. So we'll do the rhinestone stars, and then we'll probably do a few just singles. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks. If it looks good, we'll go ahead and do that. So right here we have our rhinestone transfer. So SS6 is smaller than SS10. Um, if you have like really intricate designs and they're really small, you're gonna probably end up using SS6. The only thing is they're not as easy to work with than SS10. They're a lot harder to get into place. All right, so there's going to be a few that don't make it into the hole. Just go ahead and grab your tweezers and manually put them in. It is going to happen more often with your SS6 rhinestones, just because they're so small that they are a bit tedious to work with. So right here we have our transfer tape. We're going to go ahead and peel this. Boom, perfect. Now, when we add our transfer tape, I like to just run it over with the brush tool just to make sure all the stones are touching the transfer tape. And then we can just go ahead and slowly peel. And if any don't get picked up, just press down your finger and it should come right up. All right, perfect. Boom. So now we have our rhinestone transfer and we have our heat transfer vinyl layer. So I'm going to go ahead and make another star. And then from there, we're going to go over to the heat press. So if you have any questions so far, leave them in the comment section and I got you. Okay, so I set the heat press to 335 degrees. That's a pretty good middle ground for the combination of heat transfer vinyl and the rhinestone transfer. This right here is a cotton heritage blank. It's really nice. Go check out their Instagram. This actually this has like this like vintage wash to it that I really, really like. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pre-press the garment. This is gonna take any moisture out that could potentially be on the shirt, and it's gonna maximize, the chances that we have of having a garment that lasts pretty much a lifetime. Because if you do all the right steps and use high quality equipment, and supplies, your customer is gonna have a extremely long lifespan with their garments. So here is the heat transfer vinyl layer. Boom, we're gonna do this for about 15 seconds or so. And if you have any questions, let me know. I got you. Just a few more seconds. Oh, now we're gonna go ahead and peel slow. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and press for another well, more like 10 seconds or so. This is just gonna make sure we fully adhered it. And then from there, we're gonna go ahead and add our rhinestone transfer layer. Boom, there we go. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Okay. And now looking at it, I'm actually probably not gonna add extra rhinestones. But I think if you did it, it would probably look pretty good. Boom, there we go. All right, we're gonna do this for about 10 seconds or so, and then we're gonna go ahead and peel the rhinestone transfer, and then we'll probably do another 5 seconds or so just to, make sure it fully adhered. Just a few more seconds. All right, let's see. We're gonna peel slow. Perfect. And then same thing right here. We're gonna peel slow. Perfect. All right, let's do about 5 more seconds. Not too much. Perfect. And there we go. That is the t-shirt that we made with our heat transfer vinyl and our rhinestone transfer. We're gonna go ahead and press the DTF transfer so you can see what that looks like, and we're gonna do the screen printed transfer. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and package this up so that way we can see what it looks like when it's fully ready for the customer. If you have any questions so far, leave them in the comment section and I got you. Okay, so we have this black shirt that we're going to be pressing on. Here we go. We have our DTF transfer. Depending on what company you use, the settings are different. Sometimes it's hot peel, sometimes it's cold peel. So just make sure you know what the instructions are depending on what company you go with, as far as the DTF transfers, because there is a few out there that are pretty solid. So we're going to do this for about 15 seconds or so. And like I said, these DTF transfers are typically for bulk orders. And if you want to have like full color prints, because we're doing this at home. And typically this would be screen printed or like direct to garment. All right. And boom, there we go. We have the DTF transfer. Like I said, this is for full color prints. This came out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with how that one came out. If you have any questions about the DTF transfers, just go ahead and leave them in there. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the heat a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the screen printed transfer. All right, we have the screen printed transfer right here. For this one, we did 365 degrees, and we're gonna do roughly 10 seconds or so. And then I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a hot peel, but like I said, you always wanna make sure and double check what exactly the brand that you're using is gonna call for. Covered the easy with this. Oh, I did it backwards, but you get the idea. So this is the DTF transfer, and then here is the screen printed transfer. So if you have any questions about, this, let me know. So far we did the heat transfer vinyl, we did the rhinestone transfer, DTF transfer, screen printed transfers. There's also like embroidered patches, with the heat press, you're able to do so many different things. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if this video is valuable, you're learning something, all that good stuff. It's good feedback for me. But let's go ahead and package up our shirts so you can see the process of that, how that's done. Okay, so let's package up our t-shirt. Right here we have our folding mat. I really like using this just to keep all my folds consistent. Um, Here we have the shirts. Let's go ahead and make our hang tag. This is a super easy process. We're just gonna go ahead and hole punch. We're gonna just put the string in the hole. Then it clips. And then we got our safety pin. And then I usually like to put it like on the thick area very, very lightly, wherever it's gonna be going in the easiest. I just don't like putting holes with the gun. I don't know. To me, that's just like weird, but it's all your preference. So there we go. We have the hang tag. In my opinion, it just elevates the piece. All right. All right, cool. Now let's go ahead and put it in our bag. If we turn it like this, oh yeah, that will fill up more space. And there we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and add a size sticker. This is a large. Boom, and there we go. In my opinion, this is like so dope that I was able to make this out of my bedroom. We have rhinestones, we have a heat transfer vinyl, we have our hang tag, we have it packaged up. You know what I mean? Like, this is so dope. We can make a lot of money doing these, for in bulk for other brands, or if you have a brand yourself, you want to do it. These are just all the methods you could take if you want to start making money, start taking orders and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So if you have any questions, I got you. I appreciate it. If you made it this far, hit up my social media as well if you have any questions. If you need me to get back to you, but definitely drop a comment. Let me know what type of videos you want. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. If you have any questions throughout, any of this, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Hit that subscribe, and I'll see you next video.